Alright, so I'm here at a spot that I caught several raccoons last year. And I always found raccoon scat around this log right here up on this stump. I'm going to take a look around, see if I find some here now. And the thing is, right now, this is normally a swamp. This is really lowland right here. There's no water. When the water's here, this log makes a perfect way to travel, path of least resistance for the raccoons. But right now, without that water here, remains to be seen. You can see right here in the crook of that tree, there's definitely something going in and out of there, probably a possum, possibly. And I know that there's a lot of raccoons down in this area, so I'm thinking I might just try right here in the same spot that I used last year, see if I can find any sign before I set this cage up. So I've definitely found some raccoon scat within this area, so I'm going to go ahead and set up here on this log. I think it'll be a good spot, and if in a few days I don't have anything, then I can always readjust, but it's going to be a good starting spot. Let's get a trap set up. So what I have here is just an old pillowcase. I'm going to fill it up with debris from another area and then bring it back here to my trap. That way I don't have to disturb all the debris around my trap, raking it up and so forth. I'll get that elsewhere, bring it back over here. All right, so I've got all this debris here. Just gonna dump that stuff out. Use a stick to wedge this door open. This particular trap doesn't have a lock. There we go. What I'm gonna do is actually turn the trap up. All right, so now this is gonna be a lot more comfortable to the animal to walk up in here. I want to make sure my trap is set on level ground. That looks pretty good right there. The trigger pan is covered 100%. What I'm going to do now is just come back and lay some of this material up top. All right, now that I got some debris on top of the trap, I'm going to just come back in here with some pieces of wood like this. And now with that, I can build this debris back up a little bit. And one good thing too about camouflaging your traps is just in case anybody else comes along, they're less likely to spot this trap, because people do steal traps, unfortunately. And there's not a lot of people that should be in this area of the woods right here, but you never know. And I don't want to lose my traps. Now, at this point, what I'm going to do is just clear a little spot here in the back of the trap. And I have some cat food here. Just going to put a little bit of that cat food down in here. All down in there. I'm going to sprinkle some of that stuff around outside the trap. Possibly catch a little attention with that. And then what I'm going to do is supercharge this stuff with some fish oil. Got plenty of that in there. Now I'm just going to bring some around the outside of the trap and kind of lure the animal to the door of the trap. Once again, I'm just going to run a little bit of this outside here. Make sure the trap is enticing. And that should do the trick right there. Once again, I'm going to come in and just kind of cover this. And the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to block off the back of this trap. I don't want him back here pawing at the trap, so I'm just going to take a bunch of sticks here and create somewhat of a barricade and just make this difficult for any animal that approaches the back of this trap. I want him to be encouraged to go to the front. I want to make it easy for him to go in the right way. Just put some of this material here. Animals like the path of least resistance just like we do. So this will help encourage him to go the right way. And that's it. This trap is set. And very soon, we should find us a raccoon, possibly an opossum in here. So hunters and trappers are kind of weird because we get excited when we see scat. But in all seriousness, right here looks to be some raccoon scat. And right here is actually a canal. And coming across that canal is a fallen pine tree. And it's very likely that they could be using that as a path of least resistance. There's also several deer trails that come across right through here. And those trails actually run down the length of this canal. You can tell where the paths are beaten down. But deer paths become the path of least resistance for smaller game like raccoons and opossums and whatnot. So this is a good spot. And I would think right along here beside this tree or in this general area will be a good place to set up a trap. So let's get on it. So one of the things I like to do in a case like this where my trap is on a little bit unlevel ground and I don't have a tree or something to prop it against, I like to cut a green stake of some sort and just kind of drive that thing down into the ground. What that does is it just helps stabilize this trap. Just like that. Now I'll just come in here and take some of these other sticks and just place them around the trap just to kind of deter the animal from coming into the back of the trap and trying to paw the bait. I like to put something heavy on top of the trap. So what that does is sometimes they'll climb up on top of these traps and this will just kind of make that less appealing to them to do. And now I'll just cover all of this with some debris and we'll be good to go. Dress this all up. All right, so you can see the finished result there. That thing's hardly visible unless you know it's there. This is from the front. Of course, very inviting to go up in there. We've got cat food all around. Of course, that fish oil splashed everywhere. And if somebody were just casually walking through the woods, chances are they wouldn't even spot this trap. That's what I want. All right, we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. All right, so here we are 2 days later at the same log crossing. And we had our cage set and we got us a nice raccoon here. Now he's not full grown, it's just a medium-sized raccoon, but a very beautiful animal. It's a very pretty fur. It's pretty shy. You know, you can see how beautiful that fur is, but not a lot of meat on this animal. It's still very early fall and I'm sure his coat will thicken up. So I'm not going to harvest this animal just because he is fairly small and I want to keep the population up in this area. But nonetheless, a beautiful animal and a nice catch. So we're going to get him out of the trap, let him go back home, and we'll see him again later when he's a little bigger. Beautiful animal. You can see he's pretty shy. Go for it, buddy. You're free. Go. You're free. I know you like that cage. All right, let's go and check one more trap. We had 2 that were duds. This is number 3. Let's go check number 4. All right, so here we are at the 4th trap location, and this particular one, I set here at this gully. And there's a pine tree, as you can see, that fell and comes across this gully. There's also a game trail right here where the deer are crossing. So right there at the end of all of that, I have another cage trap. And this one I had completely camouflaged, and as you can see, this guy has tore this set all up, made himself at home, which is fine. I don't mind redoing it. This is another fairly small and very shy raccoon. So we got 2 raccoons today, 4 traps, 2 raccoons, 2 days. So 2 raccoons in 2 days. So again, this guy's too small to harvest, and I'll let him stay out here and keep my raccoon population up for when I need them or want to harvest one. So anyhow, we're gonna get him out of the cage, let him go home, catch him another day. Why don't you come out there? took off like a rocket. He knows exactly where he's going. It's nice. It's fun to let these guys go. Of course, we always want to catch animals and take the benefit of that, but it's also fun to let them go and know that they're going to grow bigger and catch them again another day. All right, so I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to tune in for this video. This is just kind of the initial kickoff of my 2021 trap line. Right now, I only put 4 traps out. This weekend, I actually have to go to the Pathfinder School in Ohio to help teach at a primitive trapping class. And next week, I'll get back and I'll be able to come back on the trap line on Wednesday. So right now, all my traps are disabled. Next Wednesday, I'm gonna double my line, probably add a little more than double, and we're gonna get this thing in full swing. The thing I enjoy most about running a trap line like this is it forces me, regardless of the weather or how I feel, every morning I have to get up and get out here to check that line. That's the responsible thing to do. So it's nice because it makes me come to the woods every single day, whereas in my normal routine I don't. I also have a 5-year-old daughter who gets up in the morning and comes with me out here, so it's great daddy-daughter time, and it's a chance for us to share these experiences together. So I'll definitely have some more videos from the trap line coming very soon. Hopefully later next week we'll get back on this thing. I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. I hope you're all doing well. I look forward to talking to you again with another video very soon. And until that one, take care. And as always, God bless. So everybody, my daughter had a quick message she wanted to share with you. Take care.
Take care. God bless. And I hope you feel a little bit more at home in the woods.